Paddy, what was your thoughts on the performance and the result here at Windsor today?
Performance was fantastic, really strong. Played some brilliant football, especially in the first half. You're playing against the new champions, and they come into their ground and dominate the ball for large parts of the first half. Really proud of the players and how they applied themselves. Even in the second half, for parts of it, we were good. But once Linfield get their noses in front, they're very strong. They're very strong at keeping that lead and staying in front. So. But we still believed that we had a chance. We still were a threat when we attacked. But that was all ended when the second goal goes on. The circumstances of the second goal is there for all to see. Incredibly poor decision from a referee. But there's nothing we can do about it now. It just put an end to the game for us, and that's what we're focused on right now. Is we had a chance to come away with at least a point, and it was probably taken away from us on that instant.
Today you changed to a back five. What was your thoughts behind that?
Well, it was a back three when you've got the ball, and we had the ball for large parts of it. That was the plan. And we felt that we could dominate the ball and play as a back three. And with the possession, Linfield have got threats all around the park, so we fall into a five. Everything was going according to plan brilliantly in the first half. We did dominate the ball for large parts of the game. We attacked in numbers, and we attacked in waves, and we created 3 or 4 great opportunities to score. So at half time we were quite comfortable, quite happy how things went. And then the second half, individual error for the first goal, which was still plenty of time. The clock, they swing the game back in our favour. We didn't change anything. We didn't feel that we needed to change anything. But the second goal, that decision, it's so bad. Like it just ends the game, it's a contest, and then our boys' heads drop down. And it's disappointing for them because they put so much on the Wednesday night and put so much into the day, and play some brilliant football, which the league needs. You need teams that can play good football and encourage young players to do the right things, which we do. So we're bitterly disappointed we come away with nothing to show for our efforts.
Ever since you've came to Glenavon, you've kind of spoke about the referees near enough every single week. From where I was, in the away stand, we didn't know what the penalty was for. There was no shouts from the Linfield players, from the crowd. Was the fourth official able to give you any sort of explanation of what the penalty was actually for?
He didn't know either. David Healy didn't know. The Linfield players didn't know, and the fans behind us didn't know. The only person who knew what he was doing seemed to be the referee, which is a strange one. But it turns out what his message was to the fourth official was that Mark Byrne had pushed Kieran Offord off from standing on his toes before the ball was in flight, which is, when the ball's not in flight, it means it's not in play, so he can't give a penalty. So 3 or 4 seconds later, when the ball's in flight, it goes back to that what he deemed as a foul before the ball's in flight, and he takes it back and gives a penalty. I've never seen it ever before, but he apparently knows what he's doing, so we'll have to take his word for it. But it's broken record stuff. We're talking about the referee. I'm talking about the referees in the last 3 games: Crusaders, Coleraine, and now today again at Linfield. And we can't keep talking about referees. There's too much money involved in the league now for getting into squads, getting into grounds, getting into pitches. I think it's time we invest the money in the right thing. What's holding us all back, and that's the refereeing standard, because this is an ongoing, a recurring theme, time and time again.
Considering we didn't get the result we wanted today, at the end of this week you went to the Oval, you went to Windsor, we've competed extremely well. We haven't looked out of place. We haven't looked, like a team who's got massive difference, in the league, and we've been able to compete with these full-time teams, for fitness and for quality all over the pitch. How have you found, how impressive you've been with the squad since you've come in, and how well have adapted to everything, and how well are able to compete with these clubs who are higher up in the league, which we've kind of struggled with in previous years?
The quality is there for all to see. It's young and up and coming squad. There's so many young lads there who are getting their first taste of Irish League football and playing and matching some renowned top players over the last couple of weeks and months. So I'm really impressed with what we have, really impressed with their attitude towards hard work, and they're really impressed on how they've played in certainly the last 2 games. Linfield 1 and 2 in the league. Good service they come and play on, and they enjoyed that. They were excellent on how they applied themselves away at the Oval on Wednesday night, and here again at Windsor against the champions. Fair play to our boys. They've developed rapidly over the last couple of weeks. Certainly over the last couple of months we've been growing momentum, but the last couple of weeks we've developed really rapidly, and the likes of young Harry Lynch and DT and Len, really top young players. Sean Carlin at 19, 20 years of age, still young as well. So the future is definitely bright. It's important, which it was important in January, that we tied as many of these young players down as we could, because that's going to be the way we're going to work it. We're working off a young squad who are exciting, and people and players, the supporters want to come and watch.
And lastly, we welcome Lauren back to Mornview Park on Saturday, the last game before the split. Another very, very difficult game. How do you view that? Obviously, you want to get players back. You've had a few players, obviously, probably carrying knocks. A few boys probably out there were, playing for you a bit of pain, especially after Wednesday night. So, what's your thoughts going into Saturday against Lauren?
Lauren have a lot to play for. I'm sure that they've got their eye in the automatic European place, so they'll be a tough one. Also, champions as it stands until the next week anyway, at least. So they're always going to be a top side. They've got top players right across their squad, and like I say, they've a lot to play for. They try and get in the European places, so it'll be a tough one for us. But we'll rest and recover between now and then. We've a few boys hopefully coming back from injuries and get a bit of rest for the boys who've been playing by knocks. Obviously, Michael O'Connor missing today and Niall Quinn missing, two key players for us. Tag Ryan obviously missing out completely as well with an elbow injury. So, hopefully we'll have everyone, as many of these boys back available for next week, because when we've got everybody back available, we're strong and we've got we are full of quality. But that's not to say we're the last two games and the boys missed out, and the players who stepped on were excellent as well. So we'll be ready for Lauren next week.
Yeah, thank you, Paddy. Safe journey home.